Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Gladys Chebet. You'll find me on my YouTube channel as Gladys Cheserem. My YouTube channel is all about education. It is all about imparting knowledge both to the students and the non-students. So you can find my introductory session in the past video that I made, so you can revisit it so that you can know more about my YouTube channel. So welcome to this other session whereby I'm going to give the importance of studying history as well as the importance of studying government. And straight away we go to the importance of studying history. Why should we study history? There are among various reasons or the importance why we do or we should study history. One of the importance is to know the origin of mankind, his development, and the progress that he has made to this day. So through studying history, you'll be able to know the origin of mankind, the development, and the progress that mankind has made up to this day. Another reason or the importance of studying history is appreciate the achievements and learn from the failures of mankind. When we do history, the achievements that mankind made, we'll be able to know. Also the failures that he made, we'll be able to know, and we'll be very careful in the present not to make the past mistakes or the failures that mankind made. And for the achievements, we'll be able to learn and strengthen more on those achievements. Another importance, it is to understand how human beings depend on and relate to one another. As they say that no man is an island, we depend and we relate to one another. There are various examples that are being given here, like for the developing nations, they depend on the developed nation. Also, the policies that developed nations make can economically affect the underdeveloped nations, either positively or negatively. Another importance of studying history, it is to understand our culture as well as the culture of other people. The goodness about history, we'll be able to see the culture of a people. Different communities practice different culture. So you might meet your culture there. You will understand your own culture. You will read it in the books. Even if it is not there, you already live in your community and you know your culture. You will be able to understand your culture well as the culture of other people and appreciate them. And another reason is to inspire patriotism and nationalism among citizens as they learn the past political developments of their country. Through history, you are able to know the past political development of your country. And when you do learn about that past political development, it inspires the sense of patriotism, the love for one country. It also inspires a sense of nationalism, that quest to have self-independent rule. Let's say, for example, like for Africa, it was being colonized by the Europeans. And when Africans learn about the colonial developments they make in the past, now in the present, they'll be able to have that patriotic feelings and nationalistic feelings towards their country. Another reason or the importance for studying history is to comprehend social, economic, and political development of our society. What we mean by comprehending is to understand. So you'll be able to understand the social, economic, and political development of our societies. Another reason is you will be more knowledgeable because history documents information of varied nature. So knowledge and information are important in human development. Let's say you are learning about the transatlantic slave trade, or you are learning about the trans-Saharan trade. So these two trades were different. It is of a varied nature. Or let's say you are learning about the election and electoral processes in India or maybe in the United States of America. You will be more knowledgeable because this information is of a varied nature. Another importance of studying history is that it gives time and space to past events. That is the goodness of history. It is able to give time and space of those past events. When did that activity or when did that event occur? For example, we have been given that of the Mau Mau uprising, which took place in the year 1948. Another event that took place in Kenya, for example, in the year 1963, when Kenya became independent, and then in the year 1964 it became a republic. So we see this history, it is giving time and space to past events. Another reason or the importance of studying history, it is to utilize historical events such as famine, clashes, civil wars, and prepare people to cope with and avoid a repeat of such strategies. Because when you utilize these records, like let's say clashes, civil wars, famine, we'll be able to avoid making such tragedies. Let's say, for example, if clashes has ever occurred at one point in any country, next time people will be able to know, was it ethnic clashes? So meaning ethnicity is not good, so they'll be able to avoid ethnicity. Was it a post-election violence? And if people will know that, will get the reasons that led to that post-election violence in their next election, they'll be very careful not to make the mistakes they make that led them to a tragedy in their nation. Another one is to develop critical mind. When you study history, you'll be able to develop a critical mind. A critical minds or a critical mind tries to know why, how, when. You'll not just be able to see things like that and just accept like that, but you'll be able to question why, how, and when. And when you do that, you'll have a critical mind. It instills to you, as a learner, the ability to rationally inquire and analyze issues at hand. You will have that rationale. You will think critically. Another reason or importance is to provide intellectual fulfillment of the learner. Everyone has that intellectual fulfillment. If you are learning, you have that intellectual fulfillment. Let's say, for example, you are learning about the history of Kenya. Not only will you learn the history of Kenya, but also of the world, be it Europe, be it United States of America, be it anywhere in the world. And as a scholar and as a learner, you will have that intellectual fulfillment because you are learning many things. And a learner is always an intellectual. The more you learn, the more intellectual you become. And when you become more intellectual, people admire your education because you are more knowledgeable in such disciplines or in an area. And then the last one, which is always common, is that it influences career choices of a person. You can become a teacher, a history teacher. You can also become a lawyer. You can become a social worker, or you can become or you can become a public administrator. So I've given those various importance or the reasons why we study history. Also, we have the reasons or the importance of studying government. The reason why we are doing first the study of history, then government, there are some things which are a bit different. That's why we are putting history aside as its own, on why we are studying history or the importance of history, and now we are looking at the importance of studying government. So why should we study government? When we study government, we understand how laws are made and enforced. In my previous session, we saw that every government, they have laws, but how are these laws made? How are they enforced? How are they being formulated? So when you study government, you'll be able to know how they are being made, those laws. Another one is that we learn how developmental programs are being formulated and implemented. Yeah, So every government has some developmental programs. How are they being made? How are they being implemented? Yeah. Another one is that we learn how the government raises and spends its revenue. No wonder in our Form 4 work, according to the Kenyan syllabus, we have the expenditure, public finance and expenditure. So you'll be able to know how the government raises and spends its revenue. We also, another importance is we learn how powers are vested in different organs of the government. And the other, in our previous session, you saw Kenya has 3 arms of government. So if it is, for example, in Kenya, you'll be able to know our powers vested in different arms of the government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Another importance is we are able to understand and appreciate the need of government. Why should we have a government? And this government, what is their work? For example, security, leadership, settlement of disputes. So we'll be able to understand and appreciate the need for us to have a government. Another one is to appreciate the constitution and the process of making and reviewing the laws and the statute. When you study government, every government we saw it as a constitution. But how is this constitution made? How was it made? What is the history of this? What is the history of that constitution? Let's say, for example, in Kenya or in colonial Africa, in pre-colonial Africa and post-colonial Africa, the constitution is very much different, because when you look at the constitution in pre-colonial Africa, our constitution was based on the laws and customs of the Africans. Then in colonial Kenya, it was based on colonial administration, and then in post-colonial Africa, it is based on the the European nation that colonized that country. So that's all about appreciation of the constitution and the process of making and reviewing laws and statutes. You'll be able to know more about your constitution. And then another importance of studying government, it helps us to know our roles as citizens. When you study government, you'll know your role as a citizen and the roles of those who are governing us. So you'll not only be able to know your role, but the role of those people who govern you in the society. Let's say, for example, in a devolved government in Kenya, you'll be able to know the role of an MCA, you'll be able to know the role of an MP, governor, senator. Yeah, so that you don't say, our MC have not done this, and maybe that is the work of a governor or an MP. So you'll be able to know your role as a citizen and the role of those people who are governing you. Another importance is we are able to understand our rights and responsibilities, as well as the limitations in which we must operate for the well-being of every member of the society. So you will be able to know your rights as well as your responsibilities and the limitations under which you should work in. Yes, we have rights, but what should you not do and what should you do? Yeah. So another reason is it influences the career choices. That is very common again. Still, we saw it in the importance of studying history. Also, government is important because it influences career choices. Those people who study government, it will be able to open a career path for you, because you can become a public administrator. You can also become a provincial commissioner. Okay, provincial commissioners are not there. You can be able to become a county commissioner. You can also be able to become a chief of your location, because you know how government is. And also, let's say you can become a future leader like the president, governor, and so on. So those are the importance of studying government. So today we have looked at the various importance of studying history as well as of studying government. So until next time, have a blessed time. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, have a good bye.